I'm just going to talk about you as we're going up for the Bahrain Grand Prix. How are you doing?
Very good, yeah. Yeah, good. Just going off the debrief now and yeah, see how we go. Yeah.
Looking good in free practice, I thought.
Yeah, no, we were actually pretty good, yeah. Yeah, let's see how... The race is everything Susie these days. We can be good in practice and quality, but the race, it's so open still at the moment. So, yeah, but we're quietly confident we can be competitive.
While you're here, can I just be really cheeky? Because it seems to me like silly season's just kicked off extraordinarily early.
I'm walking to the briefing and I'm getting nailed with a full-on interview.
Well, you shouldn't come and cuddle me. So, this Porsche malarkey, confirm or deny for us, if you would?
Yeah, it's understandable that I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth, apparently, in lots of people's eyes, but so there's different rumours floating around, and I think that yeah, people certainly putting two and two together and getting a bit more than they should do. So I'm looking forward to, you know, just enjoying this season as I have done other years. I was touch and go 3 or 4 years ago to stop. So you know, as long as you're enjoying it and you're competitive and you know, you can get the work, which is not really a big issue for me at the moment. Things are going well.
Do you want to stay in this paddock?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think that you know, I still enjoy driving the cars. The tyres have made it a little bit more challenging in terms of how our job as a driver has probably changed a bit, let's say, in the Grand Prix for sure. The camaraderie, the camaraderie is massive. That's a big factor as well in this sport in terms of boys on the floor are always good. This stuff, yeah, you know, you get a bit long in the tooth of that as well. So, yeah, it's as you get older, you get less tolerant of other aspects of the job, obviously, but you still, ultimately, the drug is still very powerful towards what drove you very hard to get to that position in the first place, which is driving the car.
All right, you better go to your briefing. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
That's messed up my link as well, but never mind. I was going to tell you that it was just 4 short years ago that Red Bull took their first ever win in China. And since then, since 2010, they've dominated by taking all 6 world titles. It's really an incredible story. Wasn't great in China for you by your own Olympic standards. What can we expect here in Bahrain?
I think it's going to be very close here. I mean, what we've seen today in practice is that, you know, the Ferraris, the Lotus, the Mercedes all look competitive as well. So I think it's going to be very tight, and it's going to be a fascinating contest.
Do you think that your car will suit this track better than it suited China?
I've got no idea, to be honest with you. It seems to move around with these tyres so much that we had a pretty decent day today, and you know, traditionally this circuit has been reasonable for us, and you know, both drivers seem reasonably happy with the balance of their car, but there's still a long way to go.
Of course, there is all that talk about tyres as well. From your point of view, you know, have you gone to Pirelli and asked them to change the tyre?
We haven't asked them specifically to change the tyre, but I think that, you know, they know what our concerns are, as I'm sure they speak to other teams and other engineers. And I think that, you know, the tyre, sometimes the softer tyre is just that bit too marginal. And I think what we want to see is the drivers pushing the car to the limit and pushing the tyre to the limit, and rather than driving at 65, 70% for large percentages of the race. Now, it produces good racing, but I think that we also need to make sure that we're pushing and testing the drivers as well.
There's obviously been a very busy few weeks for you guys. We've all talked about it.
Have you? I hadn't noticed.
We mentioned it in passing. It's silly season. I just talked to Mark about the rumour about Porsche, and rather than just report rumour, I'd rather ask you the question directly. It's now the talk about Kimi coming to Red Bull next year. What are your feelings? What are your thoughts about that rumour?
I mean, we're at the 4th Grand Prix, and we've already got one of the drivers leaving and Kimi Räikkönen coming, so it just shows in Formula One that, you know, the rumour mill start early. But, you know, look, this you know, in Mark and Sebastian has been one of the most successful in the history of the sport. You know, together they have won for the team 35 Grand Prix and 3 Constructors' World Championships. So it's been a very successful pairing. Obviously, it's had its lumps and bumps, as we've seen very publicly recently.
Well, they've never really got on, have they?
They've never really got on, no. But, you know, they push each other, they're competitive, and it's worked. And before changing anything, you know, I want to see how things pan out and settle down, and how we move forward. You know, Sebastian's on a long-term contract with the team. Mark, we've renewed on an annual basis because he's 36. I think he's 37 years of age this year, And, you know, through both parties' sides, we said, let's take it one step at a time. And when the time is right in the summer, we'll sit down and talk about the future. But it's far, far too early to be even contemplating that at the moment.
You'd be happy with this lineup again next year?
I've got no problems with it. It's been successful. Obviously, we need the emotion to calm down, but they're a very, very successful pairing. They've achieved great things for us, and you know, we'll sit down and discuss drivers, you know, when it becomes a bit more pertinent in the summer. It's great to be in a position where a lot of drivers want to drive, you know, our cars, and you know, but before we changed anything, you'd have to think very, very seriously about it.
Okay, Christian, good luck this weekend. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.